Hello, YouTube. I finally did it. I got to the end game on my warrior without using a shield. And this is the first character I've ever managed to get into hardcore SSF since the release of the game. I know, people who are much better at the game than me have been cruising around in the end game for months. I see people die on the ladder at level 98, 97 all the time, and they're ranked like 40 or 50, which means that the bar is really high on hardcore SSF, but you know what? I'm happy with it. I I did a lot of endgame in hardcore SSF in Path of Exile 1, and I think I got all 4 of my waystones back then. But I didn't really do any of the Ubers or anything. I always ended up dying before that. But I was a lot more successful in Path of Exile 1, obviously. But yeah, this is my first hardcore SSF endgame character, and I kind of just wanted to do a quick video and explain what final thoughts I have are about the campaign and what actually got me through the campaign. Those of you who've seen it, I made a video on Warrior and what I thought was bad about the class. Well, I tried to change things up. I tried a lot. This is probably, since the release, this is probably my 10th Warrior or so. And every time I learned a little bit more. I tried different things. I tried fire builds. I tried going with strength stacking builds, and I tried other things. I tried going for huge damage with all the minus attack speed penalties without really mitigating that penalty, and it was really bad. Particularly my previous grievances with Sunder and some of the slower skills were basically done better with this run because, I mean, I spec'd everything I could into attack speed. Skill speed and attack speed, I even went all the way here. And I still want to end up getting this wheel here. But it's been a lot better, and eventually when I do my third ascendancy, I'll probably get rid of this one. Although I've got to say, Ancestor Empowerment was really good. It carried me a lot through the campaign. So those of you that are struggling with Warrior, with the Titan Ascendancy in the campaign, the Aftershock nodes are great. But as soon as I get my third Ascendancy, I'm going to unspec these and just go for hulking form. And hopefully that should help propel me even higher, because I've got a lot of small nodes that I could take advantage of. And then eventually I do want to go for Giant's Blood and get myself a shield. Completing the campaign without a shield was very important for me. I had to do it. I had to convince myself to do it, and I'm really glad I did. I'm amazed that it worked. So let me just go through the equipment. Oh, before that, this is the Pilfering Ring I used at the very start with this character. And what you'll notice is that we dropped 20 exalts, and I think I had 2 from the previous character, so I used about 22 exalts on this character, and pretty much as soon as they dropped, they were used on one item of gear almost immediately. Even going as far back to Act 1 or 2, I think I ended up exalting a couple of items in Act 2 a lot, actually. And a lot of those Act 2 crafts carried me until the very end of Act 3, almost until the Cruel acts. And then in Cruel, because the default items you drop are so much more powerful, the upgrade was relatively easy. And I was also very lucky with this, because a lot of the exalts, out of the 20 to 22 exalts that I slammed, I'd say about almost half were really good hits. It's really fun. When everything works out, it's a lot of fun. It's just, like I said before in the currency video, it's just gambling affix by affix, hoping for a good result without having any way to reverse your fate or try to influence your fate. In the campaign, I realize that in the end game now, I'm going to have an easier time if I don't die. I know that things like recombinators and omens are going to help out a lot. But in the campaign, you don't have any of those, and there were huge plateaus where I just had to keep using old gear and keep farming lower level maps just to be able to get enough, at worst case, enough gold to be able to gamble some items. Only 3 chaos dropped, and I used all those immediately, and none of them hit anything good. In fact, they all made my items a lot worse, so that was a little disappointing. Only dropped 1 Orb of Alchemy, which I think is a bit of a bummer because, as I said before, the Orb of Alchemies are really good for the campaign. Like, it's so relieving when you drop a white item that you just need in a slot. For example, this goes best with rings, where you're not too worried about what you get, so slapping an Orb of Alchemy on your ring is always fun and helpful. And I got lucky with this hammer at the start of Act 3 Cruel, and it pretty much helped me get through the last act really easily. And I really hate Act 3. It's too long. The maps are still too big. Even though the Drowned City is a lot smaller now, and if you don't have to go to the Forge and you beeline straight to the end of the map, it's a lot faster than before. But it's still a little too big. The Matman waterways, still a little too long. Even in Cruel, when you're rushing with 25% move speed boots, it was still an issue, but you know what? At the end of the day, we got there. In fact, I played is around 20 hours, 3 minutes. I'd say about 2 hours, 2.5 hours of that was AFK. So maybe even more, but it definitely took me at least 15 to 16 hours. And there was a lot of lower tier farming over and over again just to get enough gold in the worst case scenario. Gambled a really good helmet. I had to use this armor only plate chest because it was the only bit of armor that I could find with decent, not even good, just decent resistances. And right now my resistances are not looking good for endgame, so I'm going to have to juggle some things around and see what I can do. I got very, very lucky with the boots, I'd say. 25% movement speed. It was a huge relief, and some decent cold resist. Although we've got a lot of dead stats there as well. But in general, we did okay. Yeah, I had to use this ring just for the life roll and the fire res. I mean, even though cast speed does nothing for us. There was a lot of scavenging because every other character I played with ended up dying, and all the good loot, the good items I had until that point, I had to keep starting over again, especially with the rings and amulets. But we got there. Buddy, we got there. My resists, I mean, fire is good, but my cold and lightning are not going to carry me through maps at all, so I'm actually a little puzzled on what to do. I'm not sure I can survive. Maybe I can survive tier 1 maps. I haven't tried any yet, so I'm going to give that a go. But worst case scenario, I go back, farm Act 3 a little bit more, Cruel Act 3 for gold, and try to gamble something. And, oh, one thing I'd like to point out again, while the campaign is a lot easier and faster to get through, and I know that they're going to change the campaign even more, it's going to be more accessible, there are some, I want to say, MMO-like bits where I felt like I was just doing things for the sake of extending time, and I don't think it has a place in ARPGs. The last time I felt this way while playing a game similar to this was Lost Ark, which was a full-blown MMO, but apart from the end game, the awful end game chore chasing that you had to do, there was a lot of just walking around, going there, going back, walking again, and wasting a lot of time. And there's a lot of that in the campaign, and I hope they find a way to maybe cut down those times, at least for your subsequent playthroughs. Like, for the first playthrough, it's fine, whatever, even if you do it, like, once a season, a couple of times a season, it's fine, but once you've passed certain points, you shouldn't be doing it. Oh, and the Sunless Relic, you know, the Act 2, the 2 relics that you drop to get the Extended Charm, or the better Mana Flask rolls, or the better Life rolls if you're in the Cruel Act. I know they're not huge buffs, but I've had to farm the Mastodon graveyards over and over again on several characters just to drop the relic from there. And with this character, I had to farm Utsal, I think it was. I had to farm Utsal quite a bit and restart, well, at least spawn back the checkpoints and kill the monsters at least twice through just to get a heart to drop. It never happened before. I generally always got the hearts easier, but it was tough. I really think if you've come to a certain point in the map, the heart or the relics should just drop. It sort of forces you to rerun the map, and if you're rerunning a map for higher drops, for example, if you're running through the Maudon Quarry for more quality currency like whetstones and armor scraps, it's fine because you get a steady supply of loot coming in and you know that you need those items, so it's fine. But when you're looking for the item just to get your skill points or to get that little buff on your flask, it just doesn't feel good. Apart from that, there's a lot of waiting for certain animations to finish, and it gets old really quickly. It's fine when you kill Geonor and, you know, Sin talks to him and then you go through it. It's fine on the big act bosses, but when you get off the caravan and you have to walk, and then, oh, we can't enter the gate, alright, we have to go back to the caravan, and then you go to the Traitor's Passage. Again, it's fine the first time through, but on your subsequent runs, you should just be able to go. If you've rescued the lady, I forget her name, if you rescued the lady, you should be able to just go. And the part when you go to the dust wall, and you know, this is no normal sandstorm, and then you have to go back. It's just, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of just waiting. Listening to Viper's speech, well, Alva's speech to Viper, every single time you go through it, it breaks the pacing quite a lot. And I don't know, maybe, I know it's a hardcore SSF thing. I know if you're playing the game normally, if you're playing the game on softcore, you only go through that once on each character, and it's not that big of a deal. It's only when you're bad at hardcore and you keep dying and having to go through the campaign over and over again. But eventually people are going to play the campaign through, as much as I had to in these last 5.5 months. And it's going to get old pretty quick, so it's something to consider. It's not a game breaker. It won't ruin the game for me or anything. I'm not going to be dramatic about it. For what it's worth, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I don't mind clicking the wells. I like the wells. When I click the wells, it makes me happy. As I'm passing through, it feels like something to do. Now, if they got rid of the wells and gave us automatic refills like they do in Path of Exile 1, would I hate it? No. But, like, I'm okay with doing some, let's say, I'm okay with doing some old school things, like clicking on certain, like, I'm okay with identifying. I know a lot of people hate the identifying. I like identifying. I don't mind it at all. I don't mind clicking on the wells at all. But waiting for certain story elements, listening to speeches all the time, that gets old really quick. What else is there to show you? I mean, I basically, yeah, as you can see, I have no regals and no exalts. I tried to craft a lot of items. SSF is still lacking for item agency in the campaign. I know, I think I mentioned it in this video a little earlier. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I didn't want to take notes. As soon as I finished the campaign, I just wanted to do this video with my feeling. I wanted to come in hot with my feelings. So, we definitely need more currency drops in the campaign. We don't have omens, we don't have recombinators in the campaign, and it's really, really, I want to say, stressful. And right now, like I said, I have no idea how I'm going to fix these. Do I just go back and keep farming the end of Act 3, Utzal and what's his name, Doriani's Machinarium, or whatever that map is called? Do I just keep farming it for gold and hope that I get something? Enough money to gamble? I really don't know. And, like, it's really hard targeting specific mods on your gear. Like I said, a big thing that would help would be essences. I mentioned that in the currency video. Just essences not giving us one line would help a lot. I think that's something that worked really well in Path of Exile 1. The fact that you could use it almost like an alchemy orb. And just more alchemy orbs in general would even help. And like I said before, I keep saying like I said before, but I do feel like I'm repeating the same things over and over again, but it really is an important point to make. I know that there's a lot of design space being left in the game for future expansions, but we need more. We really do. And I'm coping that maybe there are a lot more currencies and maybe a lot more mechanics that are going to be coming with Act 4, 5, and 6 that they're waiting to introduce with those acts. Like, that's my main cope at the moment. But overall, I think the campaign is still pretty fun, despite the slog that people keep talking about, the fact that it's slow, the fact that it took me a minimum of 15 or 16 hours. I don't mind it, but I'm the kind of player who likes suffering. Roguelites are my favorite game. I think I saw it on Reddit or one of the YouTube comments. Somebody said that this Path of Exile 1 and 2 was the best roguelites game they'd ever played, and I agree. I realize that the reason why I love Hardcore SSF in this game, despite it being slow and painful and very scarce for resources, is because it's a really fun ARPG roguelite. And you know, you'd kill for that kind of thing in other games. 16 hours is still a little long though, so I'm hoping it goes down. And I definitely can see that if we don't have to run the same acts over and over again as cruel acts, it'll help the flow a lot better. But yeah, overall, I complain a lot in these videos. I know I keep talking about what I'd like to see changed, and it makes it look like I'm not enjoying the game. I love the game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's just that if we could address some of these issues, I think we've got one of the best ARPGs ever made on our hands. And I know a lot of people disagree with this direction. They keep talking about the vision and how they don't like the vision. I like the vision. But again, I like Souls-like games. I've always dreamed of having an hack-and-slash ARPG and a Souls-like ARPG, sort of find a middle ground. So I feel that this is going in the right direction. It's definitely not there yet, but it will get there eventually. And I'm curious to see, if I don't die immediately on my first map, I'm curious to see how far I can go and how broken I can make this character. We're going to get No Rest for the Wicked in a couple of days. I'm very excited to try that out after playing Path of Exile 2 for so long. The last time I played No Rest for the Wicked was when it first came out, so over a year ago. And I'm excited to see what they've come up with their patch. Although they're different games, that one is a lot more methodical, and it's not really a hack-and-slash ARPG. It's a lot more... Like, people talk about that being more Souls-like. It's more Nioh-like, if any of you played Nioh. It reminds me of Nioh a lot, just without the stance changing. So, that should be fun. Playing that after Path of Exile 2, seeing what I like about both games. Maybe I'll make a video about that as well, if you guys would want to watch it. I mean, I'll make the video, but we'll see if you guys like it. And, yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna go straight into maps in a bit. Expect a rip video very soon. I am not confident in my abilities. I am pretty sure that I'm gonna hit a brick wall and I'm gonna be too slow to pause and exit. I generally try to not do that, but we're in the end game now, so I may try and, you know, pause and respawn a checkpoint a little bit, or at least log out. I might. But at the same time, I'm really slow at recognizing when I'm about to die generally, and I do end up dying. But you know what? It's been really fun. And I just want to thank all of you who've watched my previous videos. I mean, I always thought we'd get a couple of hundred views at the most. And I'm surprised that, you know, they've done so well. And I read the comments, and they're generally very encouraging. So thank you for some of you have dropped by the stream. And I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. And hope to see you in-game pretty soon. Thank you, and have a great day.